Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Just a fair warning, this video might be a bit lengthy. We're going over the first parts of Genesis, the account of creation. There's a lot of stuff I want to go over and cover in this particular part of Genesis, mainly because this is where it gets a lot of heat from atheists and other non-Judeo-Christian religions. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna read the whole entire chapter of Genesis. I'm going to only read verses 1 through. Let me take a look here. 1 through 25. So like I said, it won't be the whole entire book of Genesis. It's be the 6 days of creation. And I'll read the whole entire text of what I'm planning on reading. And then day by day, I'm gonna kind of dissect it and pick out which parts atheists are looking at and defend the account of creation. So without further ado, let's go. 6 days of creation. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, that it separate the waters from the waters." So God made the dome, and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome. And it was so. God called the dome sky. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the sky be gathered into one place, let the dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth put forth vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees of every kind, bearing fruit with the seed in it." And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed of every kind, and trees of every kind bearing fruit with seed in it. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the domes of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let there be signs and seasons for days and years. And let them be lights in the dome of the sky to give lights upon the earth." And it was so. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser night to rule the night, and the stars also. God set them in the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the dome of the sky." So God created the great sea monsters and every living creature that moves, of every kind, which the waters swarm, and every winged bird of every kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them, and saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters of the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." And there is evening, and there is morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures of every kind, cattle and creeping things and wild animals of the earth, every kind." And it was so. God made the wild animals of the earth of every kind, and the cattle of every kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth, upon the ground of every kind. And God saw that it was good. Okay, we're done with the whole entire reading, and now, day by day, I'll be dissecting what atheists think is wrong with the verses. Okay, in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. and there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. Okay, the first one I want to cover isn't really a problem with atheists. I just want to make a point, make an opinion. The wind of God. I was watching some videos, and that could mean several things. That could mean God's Spirit, God's Holy Spirit, was upon the waters. Either that, or there's a word in Hebrew. I can't remember what it means, but I think it meant like breath. God breathed upon the waters, his soul upon the waters, and he spoke and created everything. And this next part, this is a very common theme with many atheists. Let me go find it again. Okay. All right. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. Okay, so many atheists, they say, God created light and separated it from the darkness. Now, hold on for a second. That's impossible, because he hasn't created the stars yet. So that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make a lick of sense. So I'm first to say that the Genesis is wrong. Well, I would say now this is my personal opinion, that they don't know God. I guess they forgot who God was. God's glory, His grace and His glory is brighter than 1,000 suns. He is light. He is light Himself, and that glory, that light is, like I said, is brighter than 1,000 suns. And Him coming into this plane of existence, this reality, He created light. And also, I want to make a scientific. There's a scientific fact that when he created light is a particle called photons, and that's what light is. They're photons. So when God created photons, He pretty much created the building blocks of light. So that you can also basically say that He created light when he created the photons. All right, let's go on to the second day. The second day I love. I can't wait to go over the second day. Let's see. Let me find my mouse real quick. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find my mouse. Where's our problem? I saw it. Hang on here. Technical difficulty. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. And God said, "Let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." So God made the dome and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome. And it was so. And God called the dome the sky, and there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. So I'm sure many of you have heard, I love this is hilarious, the flat earth theory. It is the most ridiculous theory I've ever heard. And it's funny, but many flat earthers, they use the Bible as a source, as a reference, saying, "Oh yeah, the Bible definitely teaches flat earth, definitely." And I would say no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And I'll go over why. I'll read it one more time, and I'll dissect it. Okay, here we go. Find my mouse again. I always use my mouse. Apologize. Oh no. Here. Okay. And God said, "Let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." So God made the dome and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome. And it was so. God called the dome sky, and there was evening, and there's morning, the first day. Okay, so there is a saying that I love when it comes to reading the Bible and interpreting the Bible. It says, "Don't take the Bible literally. Take the Bible literally." I think it's like one of the most greatest sayings. So what it is so the Bible is composed of several genres of literature. You have history, you have prophecies, you have poems, the books of poetry, Psalms, Ecclesiastes, Proverbs, Job. You have Greek Bibles. Those are the Gospels, and it really means when you're reading a certain genre of literature, read it the way it is meant to be read. Like if you're reading poetry, of course, don't take poetry literally. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't take the Bible literally, period. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that there's some parts of the Bible that you should take literally. This is definitely one of them, the dome. Now I'll tell you why you should take this day as a metaphor. Okay, it's okay. And God said, let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. Okay, so we all know that the above us, floating above us, is not another ocean. We all know that. That's metaphor. That's pretty much the. He's talking about the horizon, separating the ground from the sky. Of course, when you're looking at the sky during the day, it looks blue. It looks like water, doesn't it? Looks like an ocean. And that's why it's blue, because the 75% of the Earth is water, so it reflects all that blue, and it looks like an ocean. This metaphor. He's spreading the waters from the waters, the seas to the sky, the blue sky. All right, and God made the dome and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome. Like I said, there's no ocean above our head. We all know that. That's a metaphor. All right, now for the third day. And God said, let the waters under the sky be... Hang on, yeah. And God said, let the waters under the sky be gathered into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called the seas. And God saw that was good. Then God said, let the earth put forth vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees of every kind, bearing fruit with the seed in it. And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed of every kind, and trees of every kind, bearing fruit with the seed in it. God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. So another argument atheists have is, well, the stars and the sun haven't been created yet. So how could there be plants when the sun hasn't existed yet? Of course, this is a common sense fact. Plants can survive a day without sunlight, at least 12 hours, because when that time comes, they survive the night. We know that. So plants can definitely survive 12 hours to a day, definitely. All right. Now for the fourth day. Alright. So I'm gonna find my mouse again. I always lose my mouse after every day. Don't know why. Oh, here it is. Okay. And God said, let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let there be signs and seasons for days and years, and let them be lights in the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth. And it was so. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars also. God set them to the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. And then this connects to the first day. We're talking about atheists. They're like, well, how can there already be light when the stars and the stars haven't been created yet? That's logically impossible. So this connects, and they're like, well, then this verse should be the first one, but yeah. Okay. Now for the fifth day. And God said, let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the dome of the sky. So God created the great sea monsters, and every living creature that moves, of every kind with which the waters swarm, and every winged bird of every kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters of the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. Okay, so now atheists would jump on the word sea monsters as if, as if the Bible was teaching, the mythical Loch Ness monster and stuff like that. Well, that's not true either. Now, as funny as it sounds, unicorns are mentioned in the Bible, but they're not the kind you think of. I was watching a video, and what they are. They're mistranslations, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, so don't freak out. But what they really are rhinoceroses. That's what they are, and they're a certain breed of rhinos that have only one horn on the top of their head, and unicorn, one corn. That's where that comes from. I can't remember if it's Greek or Latin. I can't remember. It's one of the two, I think. So that's where that comes from, and that's how they got unicorns. I should have wrote that down, but yeah. So that's where unicorn comes from. If you've seen it before, I can't remember which books it were in, but yeah. Okay. All right, for the sixth day, and God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures of every kind, and of every kind, cattle and creeping things and wild animals of the earth of every kind, and it was so. God made the wild animals of the earth of every kind, and cattle of every kind, and everything that creeps upon the ground of every kind. God said that it was good. So it's not really anything to cover in this day. So I think about covering everything I wanted to go over, because I want to kind of tackle some of these issues that atheists bring up, and see if it can kind of debate that and kind of So that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, share it with others, comment, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you next weekend. God bless.